Welcome back, guys, to another vlog. And in this vlog, we're just gonna do some commentary, which is a classic thing, which I really wanted to do. Since I'm bored, why not talk about the phone I am currently filming on, the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It is the last iPhone that shipped with a SIM tray in the US for US models. This iPhone is really nice. It is incredibly similar to the iPhone 14, except it doesn't have the AOD, the always on display, and it doesn't have the dynamic island, which is incredibly unfortunate. This iPhone that I am recording on is a 1TB model with gold in the gold color. It unfortunately does not have the M-Wave antenna, which I'm pretty sure means it doesn't support 5G, though it is not a guarantee. This iPhone is still using a 12 megapixel camera, which is still enough to record 4K 60 FPS video, which is really nice. Though I still record with 1080p. For some reason, this is the second to last model of iPhones that use the Lightning port, which was introduced back in 2012 with the iPhone 5, which was really nice, as it was a much smaller connector than the 4S used. The iPod connector released back in 2003 was also reversible, meaning you can plug it in any direction, while the older 2003 iPod charging connector, you have to put it in a certain way for it to actually plug in, which is really stupid. By the time the Android market evolved, they were using micro USB, which is like USB-C, but the same, really. You have to put in the correct way for it to plug in, which is really dumb. Still, some really budget smartphones still sort of use it, but it's starting to disappear, which is a really nice touch. iPhones nowadays have USB-C, really nice, big cameras, really big cameras, 48 megapixels, or whatever the standard is, or maybe 24 megapixels sounds better than 48. But yes, this is a still really nice camera. Yes, it's smaller, maybe it might not have the same nice focusing, but it's still an iPhone. It's still a phone, and it's still being supported by Apple. It's currently running iOS 17.5 beta 1 as I'm running right now. As the time I'm recording is the 15th of April 2024, and this iPhone is still being supported. iOS 18 is bound to support this iPhone, as it was only released in 2021, which is not that long ago. 2021 was only 3 years ago. September of 2021, iOS 15, which supported the iPhone 6S, which is really impressive from 2015 to 2021. That is really impressive. iOS 9 through iOS 15. This iPhone is bound to get maybe iOS 21 or iOS 22. The iPhone XS, we're going on a rant a bit, but the iPhone XS Max, my last daily drive before I got this iPhone 13 Pro Max, was really laggy as I recorded videos on this. So I really needed storage, while my XS didn't supply that. So the 1TB really helped, as the XS never shipped with 1TB. 512 was the maximum back in 2018 when the iPhone XS Max was launched. This iPhone was also the first or second to support what is it called again? 120 hertz refresh rate, which is really nice, coming from an iPhone XS Max user, which was about 60 hertz, which is really stupid, as still now you can buy a flagship iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, not the 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, 15 and 15 Plus it still uses 60 hertz, which is absolutely garbage nowadays. It is extremely horrible. Well, these 3-year-old iPhones, you could get 3 camera lenses, which is really nice for recording, and you get a better screen, though you won't get the dynamic island. So that's a decent trade-off. And the iPhone 13 was the first iPhone to reduce the notch size. I'm not sure how much, but maybe 30 or 40% of the notch size being reduced, which really makes a difference. Sadly, most things don't work with the notch anymore, and the dynamic island is still gimmicky. But this iPhone is still an amazing smartphone 3 years later after release. If you manage to get one for maybe $600, that is an amazing deal. Incredible deal for a still usable iPhone, which could get easily 5 more years of support, as this has an A15 Bionic chipset and 6 gigabytes of RAM, which is surely enough for iOS 21 or iOS 22 when that bounds to come out. This iPhone is really nice as it also supports 4K. The 4K was released, if I can recall, maybe the iPhone 6S and SE, though I'm not guaranteeing that. This iPhone still has amazing battery health if you manage to get it replaced for a cheap price, a decent price, or manage to just snatch one. This current iPhone is running iOS 17.5 Beta 1, and the battery health is fantastic. Battery health is at 90%, and it lasts me through the entire day, while my XS at around, if I can recall correctly, 80% or a little bit under 70% doesn't get me through the entire day through my standard usage, which is really, really disappointing. Another benefit of using an iPhone 13 Pro Max in 2024 is the smaller camera size, as the iPhone 14 and 15 increases the big old camera. So it really knocks on the table when you sit on the table, which is still bothering me, while the iPhone SE first generation doesn't even have a camera bump. It's really annoying. The XS really has a small one. The 11, do you remember that? People were arguing about the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max camera bump. And here we are in 2024. Barely anybody is arguing about a camera bump on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is just the reality nowadays. So this iPhone 13 Pro Max that I'm currently recording on is a really, really nice smartphone. And if you manage to get one for about $600 to $800 USD, that is an absolute snatch. If you're willing to do what I'm doing, recording a lot of videos, using your phone to its fullest potential, you should get at least a 256 gigabyte model, as that will really help a long way. Unless you're me and then you hog every single photo and you screenshot every single thing, you should just get a 1 terabyte to just keep it in the future. But yeah, this iPhone is really, really nice. Last iPhone, if it's a US model, to have a SIM tray, and I'm pretty sure Chinese models of iPhones have a dual SIM tray, which is really nice. This iPhone also supports eSIM if you're willing to use that crap, which I won't, as I have a lot of iPhones. And if I'm downgrading, say, an iPhone 7 Plus, Blackbird exploit, line fix to iOS 10.x, I'd want to activate that model, right? I would want to daily drive it for a week. How am I supposed to daily drive it if I'm using eSIM? It is absolutely garbage. For some people, it's really nice. But for people like me who collect and use older devices, it's just a pain in the butt. I don't want to go to my carrier and just every single week ask for a SIM card and not an eSIM. It's just plain stupid. So yeah, that's my rant on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's a really nice device, and if you manage to snatch it from $600 to $800 USD, you got yourself a really nice smartphone which could last 5 to 6 more years. That's all for today's video. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.